Look at your hands. They are shaking not because she broke your heart, but because you are trying to hold on to something that was never solid to begin with. You are standing in the wreckage of a life you built on a foundation of sand, wondering why the tide took everything. You think you're grieving a woman. You think you're mourning a love story. But if you want to survive this, if you want to walk out of this room with your soul intact, you have to accept a much darker truth. You aren't mourning her. You are mourning the person you became just to keep her interested. You are mourning the lies you told yourself about who she was, and more importantly, you are mourning the version of yourself that you traded away for a few months of temporary warmth. Listen to the silence in the room right now. It feels heavy, doesn't it? It feels like a vacuum. Your instinct is to fill it. You want to send that text. You want to ask the one question that will finally make sense of the betrayal. You want to explain your side. You think that if she just understood how much she hurt you, she would suddenly develop the character to care. But character is not something you can negotiate into someone else. If she could watch your peace burn and use the fire to keep herself warm, what makes you think she's interested in being your firefighter now? The pain you feel right now is a ghost. It's the phantom limb of a future that never existed. You spent months, maybe years, investing in a ghost. You saw a girl who was inconsistent and you called it complicated. You saw a woman who was cold and you called it guarded. You saw disrespect and you called it a bad day. You didn't fall in love with a person, you fell in love with a project. You fell in love with the potential of who she could be if she only loved you the way you loved her. And now that the project has failed, your ego is screaming because it doesn't want to admit it was wrong. This is the psychological trap. When a woman hurts you, your brain treats it like an unsolved crime. You become a detective of your own misery. You scroll back through the messages, looking for the exact moment the tone shifted. You check the timestamps. You look for clues in her social media, trying to find a reason for the coldness, a reason for the replacement, a reason for the silence. But here is the truth that will set you free if you let it. There is no mystery to solve. She didn't change. She just stopped pretending. The person you're looking for in your memories is a character she played, and the person standing in front of you now is the person she actually is. Why does it hit so deep? Because for a man, a woman is often the only place he allows himself to be vulnerable. You didn't just give her your heart, you gave her your security clearance. You gave her the keys to the room where you keep your confidence, your pride, and your sense of self. And when she trashed that room on her way out, you felt like she took your value with her. You feel small because you made her the judge and jury of your worth. If she wants you, you're a king. If she leaves you, you're a beggar. That is a dangerous way to live. That is emotional bankruptcy. You are renting your happiness from someone who doesn't even have a stable home of her own. Stop waiting for closure. Closure is a fairy tale told by people who are too afraid to say goodbye. You don't need her to explain why she did it. The action is the explanation. The disrespect is the closure. The lie is the closure. The silence is the closure. Every time you reach out for an answer, you are handing her another weapon to use against you. You are showing her that your peace is still her property. You are telling her that you cannot move forward without her permission. Does that sound like a man who is in control of his life? True strength is not found in the words you say to her. It is found in the words you stop saying. It's found in the messages you type out and then delete. It's found in the decision to be a ghost yourself. Silence is the only language a person like that understands. When you argue, you give them energy. When you cry, you give them power. When you beg, you give them a reason to look down on you. But when you become silent, when you disappear into your own life and start building something better, you reclaim your territory. You have to understand the psychology of the test. Sometimes the hurt isn't a mistake, it's an evaluation. It's a subconscious check to see where your boundaries are. And if you have no boundaries, if you keep coming back after every insult, if you keep forgiving the unforgivable, you are teaching her that you are a man with no floor. You are teaching her that she can treat you however she feels in the moment because you'll always be there to clean up the mess. You think your patience is a sign of love. To her, it's a sign of weakness, and no woman can truly respect a man she can manipulate with a cold shoulder or a mixed signal. The rebuild starts now, and it doesn't start with her. It starts with your habits. You feel like your life is over? Good. Let that version of your life die. It was a life that depended on the mood of a woman who didn't value you. It was a life where your gym sessions were skipped because you were arguing on the phone. It was a life where your work suffered because you were decoding a text message. It was a fragmented, weak, and distracted existence. Go to the mirror. Look at yourself. Really look. Are you proud of the man looking back? Or do you see a man who has been neglecting himself to chase a shadow? Your posture is slumped because your spirit is heavy. Your eyes are tired because your mind is a war zone. This is your wake-up call. The pain is not a punishment. It's an alarm. It's telling you that you have drifted too far from your own center. You have abandoned your purpose for a person, and the universe is forcing you back onto your path. Reclaim your time. Reclaim your focus. Every minute you spend thinking about what she's doing or who she's with is a minute you are stealing from your future self. You are literally paying for her attention with your own life force. Stop. The clean cut is the only way. Block the accounts, delete the number, clear the photos, not because you're angry, but because you're protecting your environment. You wouldn't keep a bottle of poison on your nightstand just to see if you're strong enough not to drink it. You throw it out. You will have bad days. You will have nights where the loneliness feels like it's crushing your ribs. In those moments, do not seek comfort. Seek discipline. When your heart says call her, let your legs take you for a run. When your mind says check her page, let your hands pick up a book or a tool. Discipline is the only thing that will keep you upright when your emotions are trying to pull you into the dirt. You are worried that you'll never find another connection like that. You're right. You won't. You'll find something better. You'll find something stable. You'll find something that doesn't require you to lose your mind just to keep your heart. But you will never see that if you keep looking backward. You are like a man trying to drive a car while staring at the rearview mirror. You're going to crash again. A man who is clear about his value does not need to win an argument with a woman who has already decided to walk away. He doesn't need to prove he's a good guy. He doesn't need to show her what she's missing. He knows what she's missing. He is the prize that she was too blind or too broken to keep. And once you truly believe that, the hurt loses its teeth. The betrayal becomes a favor. She didn't break you. She cleared the way for the man you were supposed to be all along. So what do you do now? You stand up, you fix your posture, you take a breath that doesn't belong to her. You realize that your life is not a supporting role in her drama. You are the protagonist of your own story. The handling of a woman who hurts you is simple. You handle yourself. You master your impulses. You sharpen your standards. You build a life so full of meaning, so full of strength, and so full of peace that the memory of this pain eventually feels like a story that happened to someone else. The war is over. You don't have to fight for her anymore. You don't have to defend your value to someone who isn't buying. You are free. It might feel like the cold air of a winter morning, sharp and painful, but it is the only air that will wake you up. Walk away from the wreckage. Don't look back at the explosion. Just keep walking until the only thing you hear is the sound of your own footsteps on solid ground. That is how you win. That is how you survive. That is how you become a man who can never be broken the same way twice.